Hi Go students, in this video we're going to do the BJC Mathematics Paper 1 exam for the year 2018. Now the very first thing you must always do when you get the exam is you must fill out this section. It's going to have the school number, the candidate number, your initials, and your surname. For your initials, I'm just going to put I pass. And for the surname, I'm going to write boy. Now notice that the time for this exam is going to be from 9 o'clock a.m. to 10 o'clock a.m., which means you have 1 hour. So anytime you're doing the exam, it's very important to always be keeping track of the time. So you have 1 hour to complete this exam. Let's begin. Answer all questions in the spaces provided. Show all necessary working. Anytime you're taking the BJC Paper 1 Mathematics exam, the first 4 problems will always be an addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division problem. If you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you will always get these answers correct. Now let's do question 1 part A. We have 1,465 plus 793 plus 21. I'm just going to write this problem in the rough work section. So I'm going to label this part A, and we have 1,465 plus 793, and for our last number we have 21. So we're adding all of these numbers. Now we can say 5 plus 3 is going to give us 8. 8 plus 1 is going to give us 9. Now we're going to add the next unit over, which is the tens unit. Now we're going to say 6 plus 9 is going to give us 15. 15 plus 2 is going to give us 17. So because we have 17, we're going to write the 7 and carry the 1. Now if we look at this, we can see we don't have any digit for the hundredths unit for the last number. So you can either add a 0 in, or you can leave it. It's really up to you. Now we can say 1 plus 4 is going to give us 5. 5 plus 7 is going to give us 12. And we know 12 plus 0 is going to give us 12. So we're going to write 2 and carry the 1. Now we don't have any digit in the thousandths unit for the second number or for the third number. So you can either add a 0, or you can just say 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2. This is going to be our answer, 2,279. Therefore, our answer for part A is going to be 2,279. Now let's do part B. So part B says 9,718 minus 5,267. Let's begin to subtract this. We can say 8 minus 7 is going to give us 1. Now we have 1 minus 6. We know 1 is smaller than 6. Therefore, we're going to have to borrow. And when we borrow 1 from 7, 7 is now going to become 6. And 1 is now going to become 11. So we have 11 minus 6, which is going to give us 5. Now we can say 6 minus 2 is going to give us 4. And now we're going to say 9 minus 5, and that's going to give us 4. Our answer for this problem is going to be 4,451. Now for our second problem, part A says 9,081 multiplied by 7. This is going to be a multiplication problem. And because it is a multiplication problem, it is always best to learn and memorize your times table. So we have 9,081 multiplied by 7. And when we solve for this, we're going to say 7 times 1 is going to give us 7. 7 times 8 is going to give us 56. So we're going to write the 6 and carry the 5. Now we have 7 times 0 is going to give us 0. 0 plus 5 is going to give us 5. And now 7 times 9 is going to give us 63. We're just going to write 63. Therefore, our answer for this problem is going to be 63,567. Now let's do part B. Part B is going to be a division problem. And we have 8,238 divided by 6. And this is part B. Now, we can say 6 can go into 8 one time. We know 6 times 1 is going to give us 6. We're going to subtract that. 8 minus 6 is going to give us 2. Now we're going to bring down this 2. 6 can go into 22 3 times. 6 times 3 is going to give us 18. When we subtract that, 2 minus 8 can go, so we have to borrow 1. This 2 is going to become 1, and this 2 is going to become 12. So now we have 12 minus 8, which is going to give us 4. And 1 minus 1 is going to give us 0. Now we're going to bring down this 3. 6 can go into 43 7 times. 6 times 7 is going to give us 42. When we subtract this, 3 minus 2 is going to give us 1. 4 minus 4 is going to give us 0. And now we're going to bring down our last digit, which is 8. We can say 6 can go into 18 3 times. 6 times 3 is going to give us 18. When we subtract this, 8 minus 8 is going to give us 0. And 1 minus 1 is going to give us 0. Therefore, this problem is now complete. 8,238 divided by 6 is going to give us the answer 1,373. Okay, let's do question 3. It says express 7 over 100 as a decimal. Let's read it one more time. It says express 7 over 100, which we know is a fraction, as a decimal. All they want us to do is change this fraction into a decimal. Now to change a fraction into a decimal, we're just going to divide the numerator by the denominator. Therefore, we're just going to set this up as a long division problem. And when we set this up as a long division problem, we know 7 is going to be the dividend, so that's going to go on the inside. And 100 is going to be the divisor, and that's going to go on the outside. And now we're just going to divide. Let's begin. 100 can go into 7 0 times. 100 times 0 is going to give us 0. Now let's subtract this. 7 minus 0 is going to give us 7. Now you might be thinking just to put remainder 7, but that won't be correct. Because we want to change it to a decimal, we must add a decimal point, and we're going to add a 0 after the decimal point. Now we're going to write back the decimal point in our answer so we won't forget. And now we're going to bring down this 0. 100 can go into 70 0 times, because 100 is greater than 70. Now we're going to say 100 times 0 is going to give us 0. When we subtract this, 0 minus 0 is going to give us 0. And 7 minus 0, we know that's also going to give us 7. Now we're just going to add another 0. And we're going to bring it down. Now we have 700. 100 can go into 700 7 times. 100 times 7 is going to give us 700. When we subtract this, 0 minus 0 is going to give us 0. 0 minus 0 is going to give us 0 again. And 7 minus 7 is also going to give us 0. Therefore, this problem is now complete. The fraction 7 over 100 written as a decimal is going to give us the answer 0.07. Okay, let's do question 4. Question 4 says, state the value of the digit 5 in the number 8053. Now, the only thing we're going to do is write down the number. We can write it right here. We can say 8053. Now we're going to locate the digit which they want us to state the value for. In this situation, it's going to be 5. Now, if we look at this number, we can see 3 is going to be in the ones place. And 5 is going to be in the tens place. Because we know the place of 5 in this number, we can just write this as 5 tens. Or you can also say the value of the digit 5 in this number is going to be 50. All you would have to do is find where the digit is, and every other digit to the right, we're just going to write a 0. So we had 5 and then we had 3. So we just turned 3 into 0 and we got 50. Now let's do question 5. Number 5 says, one book costs $8.52. Calculate the cost of 6 such books. Let's read it one more time. It says, one book cost $8.52. Calculate the cost of 6 such books. The question is telling us that one book is going to cost $8.52. Now, if they want us to find the price of 6 books, now there are 2 ways we can do this. The first way we're going to do is we can just draw 6 books and write the price and add up all the prices 6 times. So if we have 1 book already, we're just going to put 5 more books. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. And they want us to calculate the cost of these 6 books. And now we can just add up the cost of 1 book 6 times, and that's going to give us our answer. Now you can say $8.52 plus $8.52 plus another $8.52. And now you're going to add this as well. So we're going to say plus that $8.52 plus $8.52 plus $8.52. Now, when you add that, you're going to get your answer. But this is more so the long way. The shorter way is going to be to say, if 1 book costs $8.52, to find for 6 books, we're just going to multiply this. So we can say $8.52 multiplied by 6. Now, when we solve for this, we can say 6 times 2 is going to give us 12. We can put the 2, carry the 1. 6 times 5 is going to give us 30. 30 plus 1 is going to give us 31. We're going to write 1 and carry the 3. Now we're just going to bring back down the decimal point. 6 times 8 is going to give us 48. 48 plus 3 is going to give us 51. Therefore, our answer for this problem should be $51.12. And if you was to do it this way, you should also get this answer as $51.12. Now, number 6 says, a boy leaves home at 7:58 a.m. and arrives at school at 8:20 a.m. How long did it take him to arrive at school? Let's read it one more time. It says a boy leaves home at 7:58 a.m. and arrives at school at 8:20 a.m. How long did it take him to arrive at school? All we're going to do is just look at when he arrived and subtract from when he left. We have 7:58 a.m. and we have 8:20 a.m. And we're going to subtract these two times. And because both of these times are in a.m., we're just going to subtract. We can write number 6 right here. And we can say 8:20 a.m. minus 7:58 a.m. And we should note that this side is going to be the minute side and this side is the hour side. Now when we subtract this, 20 minus 58 can't go because 20 is smaller than 58. We're going to have to borrow 1 hour from the hour side. 8 is now going to become 7 and we're going to take the hour back over to the minute side. We know 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Therefore, in this situation, we're going to have to add 60 plus 20. 60 plus 20 is going to give us 80. Therefore, we have 80 minutes now, and we're going to write back the 58 minutes. Now we can subtract 80 minus 58. 0 minus 8 can't go. We're going to borrow 1. 8 is now going to become 7. 0 is going to become 10. 10 minus 8 is going to give us 2. 7 minus 5 is also going to give us 2. Now for the hours, we can say 7 minus 7 is going to give us 0. We're only left with 22 minutes. Therefore, we're going to write our answer as 22 minutes. Question 7 says, write the next two numbers in the sequence. We have 3, 7, and 11. So if we was to write these numbers right here, 3, 7, and 11, to go from 3 to 7, we just added 4. 3 plus 4 is going to give us 7. Now to go from 7 to 11, we added 4 once again. So 7 plus 4 is going to give us 11. Now to find the next two numbers in sequence, we're just going to add 4. We can say 11 plus 4 is going to give us 15. And now when we add 4 one more time, we can say 15 plus 4 is now going to give us 19. Therefore, the next two numbers in sequence is going to be 15 and 19. This is our answer. Number 8 says the prime factors of a number are 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Part A says express this in index form. In order to express this in index form, we're just going to write down the prime numbers. We have 2 and we have 5. So we're just going to say 2 multiplied by 5. Now let's count how many times we have these factors. For the number 2, we have it 1, 2, 3 times. Therefore, we're going to write 2 to the power of 3. And for the number 5, we have the number 5 1, 2 times. So we're just going to write 5 to the power of 2. This is how you would express this in index form. Now part B says, what is the number? Now we're just going to evaluate this. We can say 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 5 squared. We know 2 to the power of 3 is going to give us 8. And if you can't figure that out, you know 2 times 2 is going to give us 4. And 4 times 2 is going to give us 8. So that's how we got 8. Multiply by 5 squared, or you can say 5 to the power of 2, which is going to give us 25. Now we're going to have to multiply this. We can set the problem up to look like this. We can say 25 multiplied by 8. 8 times 5 is going to give us 40. We're going to write 0 and carry the 4. Now we have 8 times 2. That's going to give us 16. 16 plus 4 is going to give us 20. We're just going to write 20. Therefore, we can say 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 5 to the power of 2 is going to give us the number 200. Now let's do number 9. Part A says, in the figure above, state the total values of angles A plus B plus C plus D plus E. Well, if we look at this figure, we can see that these angles are going to form a full rotation. And anytime we have a full rotation, it's going to add up to 360 degrees. So the total value of all of these angles is going to be 360 degrees. Now for part B, it says if angle B is 35 degrees, what is the total value of angles C plus D? Let's read the question one more time. It says if angle B is 35 degrees, what is the total value of angles C plus D? In order to find this, let's look at the figure and find angle B, C, and D. If we look at angle B, C, and D, we can see that it's going to form a straight angle. Therefore, these three angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. And they tell us angle B equals 35 degrees. If we know angle B equals 35 degrees, all we're going to do is subtract 35 degrees from 180 degrees to find the total values of angle C plus angle D. Now we can write this as angle B plus angle C plus angle D equals 180 degrees. Now they give us angle B, and angle B equals 35 degrees. We can just put 35 degrees for angle B plus angle C plus angle D, and all of these angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. Now they want us to find angle C plus angle D, so we're just going to take over 35 degrees to the next side. When we do this, we're going to say angle C plus angle D equals 180 degrees. When we take 35 degrees on the next side, it's now going to become minus 35 degrees. Now when we solve for this, we can say 180 degrees minus 35 degrees. Because 0 is smaller than 5, we're going to have to borrow. 8 is going to become 7. 0 is going to become 10. 10 minus 5 is going to give us 5. 7 minus 3 is going to give us 4. And we know 1 minus 0 is going to give us 1. Therefore, we can say angle C plus angle D is going to add up to 145 degrees. This will be our answer. Now for number 10, it says Carl scored 14 out of 20 marks on a mathematics quiz. Part A, express his score as a fraction. Let's read it one more time. It says Carl scored 14 out of 20 marks on a mathematics quiz. We're just going to write his score as a fraction. When we write this as a fraction, we know a fraction is going to have two parts, a numerator and a denominator. 14 is going to be the numerator, and 20 is going to be the denominator. Now part B says, write his score as a percentage. They want us to write the fraction as a percentage. In order to write a fraction as a percentage, the only thing we're going to do is multiply it by 100. Now, there are many ways to simplify this fraction. I'm just going to say this 0 can cancel out with this 0. Therefore, I'm left with 14 over 2 multiplied by 10. And I know 2 can go into 2 one time, and 2 can go into 14 7 times. Therefore, we're going to be left with 7 over 1 multiplied by 10. Now, we can just say 7 times 10 is going to give us 70. Once we multiply it by 100, we now have to add the percent symbol. So we're going to add the percent symbol. And once we do this, our answer is complete. For part B, his score as a percentage is going to be 70%. Number 11 says, use your ruler, pencil, and protractor to draw PQR equals 65 degrees. And we know Q is going to be the angle because it is in the middle. So angle Q equals 65 degrees. Now let's pull out our ruler, our pencil, and our protractor. Okay, now that we have our tools, we're just going to draw a line. We're going to draw a line and we're going to label it QR. Because they don't provide us the length of the line, we can draw the line to any length we choose. Once we have our line drawn, we're going to move our ruler and we're just going to label the line QR. So we're going to label it QR. Now we know for angle Q, it's going to equal 65 degrees. The next step is just going to be to grab our protractor. Now once we have our protractor, we're just going to put it on point Q. And we're just going to measure 65 degrees. And we can see 65 degrees, it's going to stop right here. Therefore, we're just going to move our protractor, get our ruler, and label up point Q with where 65 degrees is. And we're just going to draw a line through the 65 degree angle, starting at point Q. Now we're going to move our ruler. And now we can label point P. This is how you use your ruler, pencil, and protractor to draw an angle. Therefore, this angle right here is going to be 65 degrees. Okay, now let's do number 12. Number 12 says, from the set of numbers, we have 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. List part A, a prime number. Now we know a prime number are numbers that have two factors, 1 and itself. The first 7 prime numbers are going to be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. From the set of numbers, we can see that 13 is going to be our prime number because we know 13 has two factors, 1 and itself. Part B says a factor of 28. We know a factor is going to be two numbers when multiplied is going to give you a number. Is 12 a factor of 28? No. Is 13 a factor of 28? No. Is 14 a factor of 28? Yes, because 14 times 2 is going to give you 28. Is 15 a factor of 28? No. Is 16 a factor of 28? No. A factor of 28 is going to be 14. Now for part C, they want us to find a multiple of 5. Now we know a multiple of 5 is going to be a number that ends in either a 0 or a 5. Is 12 a multiple of 5? No, because it ends with a 2. Is 13 a multiple of 5? No, because the last digit is a 3. Is 14 a multiple of 5? No, because it ends with a 4. Is 15 a multiple of 5? Yes, because the last number is a 5. Is 16 a multiple of 5? No, because the last digit is a 6. The only number that is a multiple of 5 in this set is going to be 15. Now let's do number 13. They give us two different stores with two different prices. Part A says, which store has the better buy? Well, if we look at this, we can see store A has it for $48.62 and store B has the same exact fan for $38.98. Therefore, store B is going to be cheaper than store A, which means store B has the better buy. Now part B says, calculate the difference in price of the fan between the two stores. We know when they want us to find the difference in price, we're just going to subtract the two prices. Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to say $48.62 minus, we have $38.98. Now let's begin to subtract. 2 minus 8 can't go because 2 is smaller than 8. We're going to borrow. 6 is now going to become 5. Now we have 12 minus 8. That's going to give us 4. We have 5 minus 9. We know that can't go, so we're going to have to borrow 1. 8 is now going to become 7. We're going to take the 1 over. 5 is going to become 15. 15 minus 9 is going to give us 6. We're going to bring down the decimal point. 7 minus 8, we know that can't go because 7 is smaller than 8. So we're going to borrow 1. 4 now becomes 3. And 7 is going to become 17. 17 minus 8 is going to give us 9. And 3 minus 3 is going to give us 0. Therefore, the difference in price of the fan between the two stores as $9.64. Now let's do number 14. Part A says calculate the value of 1 over 2 multiplied by 9 over 10. So we have a mixed number being multiplied by a proper fraction. The very first thing we must do is convert the mixed number to an improper fraction. Now, in order to change this mixed number into an improper fraction, we're going to have to multiply the denominator by the whole number and add it to the numerator. We're just going to say 2 multiplied by 2, and then we're going to add it to the numerator. 2 times 2 is going to give us 4. 4 plus 1 is going to give us 5. And when we write it back over the denominator, we're going to write it back over 2. Therefore, we can say 5 over 2 multiplied by 9 over 10. Now, anytime we're multiplying fractions, we're just going to multiply. And because we can just multiply, we're going to say 5 times 9 over 2 times 10. We're just going to multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. 5 times 9 is going to give us 45. And 2 times 10 is going to give us 20. Now, when we look at this fraction, we can see that this can be reduced because the numerator and the denominator ends in a 5 and a 0. Because they end in a 5 and a 0, we know this fraction can be reduced by 5. When we reduce this fraction by 5, now 5 can go into 45 9 times, and 5 can go into 20 4 times. Therefore, our answer, when we calculate the value of 1 over 2 multiplied by 9 over 10, is going to give us 9 over 4. Now part B says, express your answer in A as a mixed fraction. In order to change this to a mixed fraction, all we're going to do is divide the numerator by the denominator. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to use long division. So we're going to say 9, which is going to be the dividend, divided by 4. 4 can go into 9 2 times. 4 times 2 is going to give us 8. When we subtract this, 9 minus 8 is going to give us 1. And we know 4 cannot go into 1, so we're going to say 2, remainder 1. Now, when we write this as a mixed fraction, we're going to write 2 as the whole number. 1 is going to be the numerator for the fraction part, and we're going to write it back over the denominator, which is 4. Therefore, the answer for part A, which is 9 over 4, written as a mixed fraction, or what we sometimes call a mixed number, is going to be 2, 1 over 4. Now, number 15, part A says simplify. We have 8x plus 4x minus 5x. Let's just write the problem right here. We have 8x plus 4x minus 5x. And if we look at this, we have an x, and another x. Therefore, we have like terms, so we're just going to use the order of operations. Because we have addition first, we're just going to add 8x plus 4x is going to give us 12x minus 5x. 12x minus 5x equals 7x. Therefore, our answer is going to be 7x. Now for part B, we have 4m times 3m to the power of 2. When we write this, 4m times 3m squared. If we look at this, we can see we have the same variable. So we're just going to multiply the coefficients. We're going to say 4 times 3. We're going to write back the variable and add the exponents. Even though we don't see any exponent in this situation, it's always going to have an exponent of 1. So we can say 1 plus this exponent, which is 2. 4 times 3 is going to give us 12. We're going to write back the variable, which is m, and 1 plus 2 equals 3. Therefore, 4m times 3m squared equals 12m cubed. Now let's do part B. Part B says, if p equals 16, calculate the value of 4, open bracket, p minus 2. Now the only thing we're going to do is anywhere we see p, we're just going to substitute in 16. Let's write the equation. We have 4, p minus 2. We know p equals 16. We're just going to substitute that value in. We can say 4, open bracket, 16 minus 2. Now we know the order of operations. We're just going to solve for what's in the bracket first. We can say 4. 16 minus 2 is going to give us 14. And we know anytime we see two numbers like this, we know it means multiply. So 4, open bracket, 14 is the same thing as 4 multiplied by 14. Now let's just set this up and multiply it. We can say 14 multiplied by 4. 4 times 4 is going to give us 16. We're going to write the 6 and carry the 1. And 4 times 1 is going to give us 4. 4 plus 1 is going to give us 5. Therefore, when we calculate the value of this, when p equals 16, we're going to get the answer 56. Question 16 says, this is a picture of a window. This is our window. Now it says, calculate part A, the perimeter of the window. We know anytime they want us to find the perimeter, we're just going to add up the distance all around the figure. If from here to here is 1 centimeter, and from here to here is also 1 centimeter, that means each block is going to be 1 centimeter. If you want to, you can write 1 for 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter again. 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. They give us 1 centimeter here, so we don't have to write it. We know this is 1 centimeter. This is also 1 centimeter. This is going to be 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Now we have 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Now that we have the distance around the whole figure, we're just going to add. We can say 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2, plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 1 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus 1 is 13, plus 1 is 14, plus 1 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So the perimeter of the window is going to be 16 centimeters. Now part B says the area of the window. Anytime we see the word area, we should start to smile because we're just going to use a formula. If we look at this, it looks like a rectangle. So let's draw a rectangle right here. Now we know the area of a rectangle is going to be base times height. So we're just going to find the base and find the height. For the base, we can say 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. So we can write 5 for the base. And for the height, we have 1 plus 1 plus 1. We're going to have 3 centimeters for the height. Now, when we solve for this, the area of a rectangle formula is going to be base times height. The base is going to be 5 centimeters multiplied by the height, which is 3 centimeters. And when we solve for this, we're going to get 5 times 3 equals 15 centimeters. And don't forget to write the squared. Therefore, the area of this window is going to be 15 centimeters squared. By the way, even though I didn't write centimeters, we know it's going to be centimeters. I just didn't write it just to save space. But this is how we would calculate the perimeter and the area of this window. Now for our last question, question 17, they give us this table, and in this table, they give us items, the unit price, and the total. You're going to have to be able to read a table and understand what it's saying. Now part A says complete the following bill. In order to do this, we're just going to look at each item and how much they cost. For 3 tins of soup, they are at $1.09 each. So to find the total of 3 tins of soup, we're just going to say $1.09 multiplied by 3. Because we're multiplying a decimal number and a single digit whole number, we're not going to move the decimal point. We're just going to multiply. We can say 3 times 9 is going to give us 27. We're going to write the 7 and carry the 2. 3 times 0 is going to give us 0. 0 plus 2 is going to give us 2. Now we're going to bring down the decimal point, and we can say 3 times 1 is going to give us 3. Therefore, the 3 tins of soup is going to equal $3.27. Now let's do 1 loaf of bread. It says 1 loaf of bread costs $3.19 each. So if 1 loaf of bread costs $3.19, $3.19 times 1 is going to equal $3.19. If you want to perform the multiplication, you can. You can just say $3.19 multiplied by 1. And when you solve for this, 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. We're going to bring down the decimal point, and 1 times 3 is 3. Therefore, we end up with $3.19. Now they say 4 packs of cookies and the unit price is going to be 2 packs for $2.39. So this one is a little tricky, but don't get confused. It says 2 packs for $2.39. And if we have 4 packs all together, we know that's just going to be two packs. Therefore, we can just say $2.39 multiplied by 2. When we solve for this, we can say 2 times 9 is going to give us 18. We're going to write the 8, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is going to give us 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. We're going to write the decimal point. 2 times 2 is going to give us 4. Therefore, 4 packs of cookies is going to be $4.78. Now the final part is the total. We're just going to add all of these values that we just found. We have $3.27 plus $3.19 plus $4.78. 7 plus 9 is going to give us 16. 16 plus 8 is going to give us 24. So we're going to write the 4 and carry the 2. Now we have 2 plus 2 is going to give us 4. 4 plus 1 is going to give us 5. 5 plus 7 is going to give us 12. We're going to write the 2 and carry the 1. We're going to bring down the decimal point. 1 plus 3 is going to give us 4. 4 plus 3 is going to give us 7. 7 plus 4 is going to give us 11. For the total, we have $11.24. Now let's just add a dollar sign for $4.78. So we're going to write it with a dollar sign. Now part B says, calculate the change from $12. In order to solve this, we're just going to subtract the total, which is $11.24 from $12. We're going to write $12 minus the total, which is $11.24. Now all we're going to do is add a decimal point and 0 cents for $12. Now we're just going to subtract this. So we have to borrow. When we look to the next number, we have 0, which we know we can't borrow nothing from 0. So we're going to have to borrow from 2. Therefore, 2 is now going to become 1. 0 is going to become 10. Now we have to borrow from this 10. So 10 is going to become 9. And this 0 is going to become 10. 10 minus 4 equals 6. 9 minus 2 equals 7. We're just going to bring down the decimal point. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Now we have 1 minus 1, which also equals 0. Going to bring down the money sign. Therefore, when we calculated the amount of change we're going to receive from $12, we got the answer 76 cents. Congratulations, we've just finished the BJC Paper 1 exam for the year 2018.